Alright, today we're going to put the high altitude carb kit in this Suzuki 6 horsepower trolling motor here, a little kicker motor. Got this stuff in from Suzuki yesterday, so this should be all you need. I did one jet size up because that's all they offered. They offer a 70 and a 72 size orifice here. And then got to get your fuel bowl gasket and then your fuel bowl screw gasket. So go ahead and get started. Take this apart. Shouldn't take too long. Get your cover off here. This is a 2021 Suzuki DF6A. So I'm sure they're all going to be pretty similar. Grab this stuff, set it up there. So all you got to do is take your carburetor bowl out, and then the jet's going to be in the center there, the same hole that this fuel bowl screw sits in. So we'll get that taken out and go from there. So something I would recommend if you're going to be doing the same thing I'm doing here, or any carburetor work, is disconnect the portable fuel tank from the front up here. And if you're out on the water, just let it run dead. Let it run dry with whatever's left in the fuel lines, so that you don't have to deal with catching this fuel from the fuel bowl. Or same thing if you're just running off of this tank here. Shut your fuel valve over here off, let it run dry from the fuel lines that are in there, and then you'll have a lot less gas to deal with. But I didn't know I was going to be doing this, and I had the boat out yesterday, so I'm catching it with rags today. That's all of it. Close that back up. Looks like maybe a 10 millimeter. Alright, 10 millimeter on that fuel bowl screw. Got a ratcheting wrench. That's going to make this much easier than just a 1/4 inch socket. A little bit of fuel left in there. Drop that down. So this is that little cork gasket, one of the ones I got to replace it. You're going to want to take that off to replace that. Make sure you don't leave that on there. And then there's going to be, probably, I don't know if you can see it, this little rubber gasket here. Get a pick that out, and we'll replace that as well. Okay, so there's that O-ring. Should get the new one set in. We go to install everything back together here. And then this is your carb jet. So you're going to want to get a Phillips that fits in this nice and tight. You don't want to be busting off brass and marring this jet up, either the new one or the old one, taking it out. So make sure you get one that fits in there good. Alright, so go ahead and get your flathead that's going to fit up in there, and make sure it fits in your jet good. And then 1/4 inch drive for me in this case. I used to have a ratcheting 1/4 inch driver, but I'm not sure where it's at right now, so we're gonna have to do it this way. When you go to take this jet out inside the carburetor, make sure that your bit here, your flathead, fits easy up in that little pocket, so that you're not gulling all that aluminum from the carburetor and causing problems on your way out. So get that up in the jet, crack it loose, and then once you crack it loose, it should come out no problem. I don't know, on this carburetor I might have another brass piece that's going to want to come out with this. I can't think of the name of what it is at the moment, but I did the same thing on my generator this year, and that carburetor did have a piece on top of the jet, so we'll see what we got coming here. It's looking like there's going to be a piece on top. There's a little hole on the side of this tube where the jet is sitting in, so you can get an idea. Oh, right there it is. You can get an idea of lining up your bit right and all that stuff. So let's see if I can't get this squared away here. Definitely recommend a ratcheting 1/4 inch. You can do it, it's not that tight, but just make your life a little bit easier. So most of the fishing I do is above 5,500 feet. So this is why I'm changing the carb jet out here. Like I said, there's not that many options. They only have the 72 and the 70, so hopefully this will help a little bit just as far as starting goes, up on the higher altitude lakes. I noticed down here it'll take 2 or 3 pulls normal, and I could have just pull the choke out and I wouldn't have to put any throttle on. But up on the higher elevation lakes, I got to give it a little throttle in addition to the choke to get it to want to fire up. There we go. So there's that other brass, I don't even know, needle that I was talking about. If it comes out for you, just note the orientation and throw it back in there before you put your jet back in. So I dropped both of mine. The new one, and the old one. $70 and $72. Make sure you're putting the right one back in. So installation procedure, just opposite of your install here. Throw that needle in. Let's see. Can't talk very good with the screwdriver in my mouth. Take your jet. Try and get that started by hand. Okay, it feels good. Get your bit. Go ahead and start putting it back in. Okay. It doesn't need to be super tight, just it's brass and aluminum, so good old snug. Should be all it needs. That's the jet installation. Now go ahead and get this ready. Actually, I'm going to spray it out just in case any debris got caught in there, so I don't have any issues down the road. Should be good with that. Okay, get your fuel bowl gasket, your new one. And your screw gasket. Go ahead and throw the gasket on your screw. And I'm just going to set that in my fuel bowl, and I'm going to use kind of my fuel bowl as a guide to get this O-ring seated in there. And I mean, it's convenient to have the tilt on your motor, so use that to your advantage when you're doing this kind of stuff. So get that. Press that in with the fuel bowl, make sure looks good all the way around. Okay, that's looking good. Drop that back down. Set that in. Take your screw with your new gasket. Get that started. Your 10mm. Again, doesn't need to be super tight. Just snug it up. New gaskets and everything. Take care of the rest. Okay, that should be good. So that's it. The new jet is installed, new gaskets are installed. Got that drain screw tightened back up so we're not gonna have any leaks. I'll go ahead and get this hooked up to the fuel, get a bucket of water under this motor, and get it fired up. All right, we're gonna go ahead and give this a go. Got my fuel bowl pumped up here. Got this guy choked out. See how many pulls it takes to get this thing going. Give her the gas. There you go. Chokes in. Probably took a little longer because that fuel bowl was empty there for a while. So that's it. Easy as it is. Quick and easy job, guys. Thanks for tuning in.